I'm here with one of my childhood idols, star of Land of the Lost, Wesley. Thank you so much for being with us. And behind us, we also have a Sleestak friend who's going to be observing us this whole time. In case you say anything that's out of line, he'll be there to.
I just want to know if you make me look bad, he will eat you.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah. So that just that's I like a little pressure. Just it helps with the interview. It makes it go smoother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Wesley, of course, we're here at Comikaze. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people walking by. What's the response been like for you with fans coming up today?
Oh my gosh, we've at least had 3 people show up. It's been overwhelming. I don't know how. I got writer's cramp from autographs.
Okay.
No, it's been really, really good. We've had so much fun because we have Holly, which is Kathy Coleman, is here, and we have one of the first times ever we have Phil Paley, who played Chaka, the monkey.
And if Christina pans a little bit over there, you'll see the man right here, Chaka, meeting with his fans, and we'll maybe talk to him in just a second. There we go. Well, Wes, what are some of the stories that you hear? A lot of people come up and talk about the special role that Land of the Lost had in their childhoods. I mean, what are some of the common themes that you hear with fans?
It's amazing. This is 40th anniversary, so it's sort of went into classic TV. But I'll tell you, the thing that is the most heartwarming for me is people that, Land of the Lost was about a family. We lost our mom. It was really dealing with kind of heavy issues. It was written by the Star Trek writers, and so the scripts are really good sci-fi. But I've had several people today say, well, I'll tell you, one lady came to me, an African-American lady. She says, listen, I lived in the hood. She said it wasn't safe to go outside. She said Land of the Lost was where I escaped, and it was my reality. And I said she pretended that she was in Land of the Lost all the time. And I've had a lot of people that didn't have a mom or a dad say, we watched your show, we watched how you dealt as a family, with a brother, sister, and a dad, and how you dealt with the fact you're without a parent, and said it actually helped us get through some very hard times.
I was not expecting as profound of an answer as that. I mean, I can relate though. I had I don't want to say difficult childhood, but I didn't necessarily grow up in the stereotypical nuclear family. And there really was something that was kind of unique about the microcosm of Land of the Lost in the television climate of the 1970s. You didn't see a lot of single-parent households represented, certainly those overseen by a father figure as opposed to a mom.
Well, I didn't have a dad. My dad left when I was 2, so I had the reverse in my real life. So. That's why I think that Kathy Coleman, when we played brother and sister, to this day, it feels like she's my sister. Wow. And I had not seen Spencer Milligan in 38 years. Since the day he left the second season, I had not seen him. So we took a film crew last summer, and we knocked on his door, Phil Paley, Kathy Coleman, myself, and we filmed a documentary called Finding Spencer, which should be out next year.
I was not aware of this. I'm so excited. Wesley, one other question I did want to ask is, as you said, the plethora of really impressive sci-fi writers, actors that appeared on Land of the Lost, Richard Keel, who sadly passed away not too long ago. He was on 2 episodes. That was kind of uncommon at the time with what you might want to call children's programming at the time. But Sid and Marty Krofft, they always brought a certain level of quality to their productions. And
amazing. I mean, come on, they were doing Donnie Marie show. They were doing all the variety shows. So we had the most amazing guest stars that came on our show. I mean, and then, of course, Walker Edmondson, who played Enoch. Now, Enoch, the character was the talking Sleestak, the brown one. He was created by Walter Koenig, who played Chekhov on Star Trek. And David Gerrold, if you're a Trekkie out there, David Gerrold created, he was our head writer, Trouble with Tribbles. He's the one that created all the Tribbles, is David Gerrold. He was our head writer. We had DC Fontana. It was quite an amazing group of people. And that's why Land of the Lost holds up. Because I talked to Marty Krofft. He said originally Land of the Lost was going to be like Swiss Family Robinson. There's just going to be a dad and a son kind of in the wilderness. And then David Gerrold came on board, and it suddenly became Land of the Lost with sci-fi and aliens and dinosaurs and Sleestaks. Sleestaks.
That hissing sound haunted me in many nightmares as a child, and I'm sure that's probably, Mr. Sleestak, you've probably heard something very similar tonight. Correct. I think he said correct on that one.
And what have you been doing all these years since the Land of the Lost? Wow, that's really... I gotta applaud you.
I really congratulate you on your recovery, and you're no longer addicted to pylons. I really commend you, Mr. Sleestak, on your just being a fine example to the youth of today.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. The charity work that he does, and he works for scale. Hey.
Okay, all right, very cool, very cool. Well, again, guys, if you're as you're checking this out, stay tuned for the documentary. I'm very excited. I'm gonna definitely be checking it out, and stay tuned with all the exciting things going on with all these wonderful folks. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. You did okay. I mean, you. Hey! Stop! Back up. He's a host. He can't.
I've just my childhood nightmare just became a reality. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. All right. Well, I just talked to Wesley, and I'm actually here with Phil, who played Chaka. And Philip, thank you so much for being with us. What's it like being here at Comikaze? Wesley told me that it's a relatively rare thing for you to be here with the rest of the gang.
It is very rare. This is the second show that we've done all together, and it's a lot of fun. We just like getting together and hanging out with each other anyway.
Yeah.
But it's fun to come to these types of shows to meet our fans and just hang out and.
Well, I can tell, I've been to a lot of booths, I've done a lot of interviews, and the energy and the camaraderie and the humor between you guys is actually something that I don't see that much of. So clearly you guys have a really wonderful connection.
Well, we love each other. We've been friends for 40 years, and so it's fun to do these types of things.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Oh, there's Gwendoline Christie there from, you might want to turn there, soon to be in episode 7, the next Star Wars. And she
is tall.
She's quite a stunning woman, just
I didn't realize how tall she really was.
Yeah, just dramatic blonde hair. And that's the magic of being here at Comikaze, is we're sitting here, hundreds of people are walking by. You never know what you're going to see. It's pretty amazing. But back to my friend here, Philip, a.k.a. Chaka. I heard that you guys, there's actually a documentary in the making, and very excited. Are you part of that as well?
Yeah, we went up to go visit Spencer, who played the dad.
Yep. As opposed to the uncle that came in later.
That's right. Well, the uncle came in after Spencer quit the show. And so none of us had seen Spencer for that whole time, and so we went up there to go find him and go say hi, and it was great. And we did the whole thing as a kind of a documentary.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. One other question I have for you, Phil, is you obviously you still look like a young man. So at the time, 40 years ago, you were obviously a child actor dressing up in a suit, playing the role of Chaka. What was that like back then? I mean, what was the makeup process? Did you have to sit in a chair and get done up? Did it take a lot of time?
Yeah, it took a lot. In the beginning, it took a couple hours, and I wore a prosthetic forehead and headpiece, and the makeup took about an hour and a half, and then putting on my suit was a real human hair suit. So
was it at times difficult? I mean, was it hot to be in that suit under the studio lights?
Very hot, but not as hot as the Sleestaks were, because they were in like neoprene wetsuits, and so it was about 100 degrees on the set, and so wearing a hairy suit or a neoprene wetsuit was very hot.
The character of Chaka did go on to learn English, and you did speak some lines.
English as the show went on. The later year, and then by season 3, which was when we had the uncle come in, and I was speaking all English all of a sudden. So
smart though. Hi, cousin. Oh, hey, Will, Holly. Will, Holly.
Lira? Ari! Hey! Chaka! Chaka not know. When ground shake, Pakuni much fear. Run away.
Well, didn't you run?
Chaka run. Her foot not keep up. Big hole open the ground. Hole much long. Pakuni on one side, Chaka on other side. Chaka alone.
Everybody taught you really well, I guess. It was an important message there about literacy. That if
tutoring,
yes.
A lot of tutoring going on, I guess. Yeah, but learning Pakuni or or speaking Pankuni was, for a 10-year-old was a challenge because, it's a completely different language that I didn't know. So.
Well, and Phil, were your childhood friends fans of the show? I mean, did you have friends that were like, my friend's Chaka? I mean, was it something that you got a lot of feedback about?
Yeah, a lot of kids at school loved the character, and I didn't get too much heat about it, so.
I always wondered if Chaka maybe was like the illegitimate son of like Chewbacca or something, but that maybe you'll cover that in the documentary, right?
I think Chewbacca probably came from Chaka, actually. I think Chaka came first.
That is actually true. 1974, of course, to 1977. So we may have to take up some legal issues with Mr. George Lucas, perhaps.
Right, yeah. Yes, I guess you could do that. I'm not going to do that.
All right. Well, Phil, any final words?
I am doing some improv schooling right now with the Groundlings, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of sense the impromptu, kind of off-the-cuff nature that all of you guys have. I can totally see you just honing those skills on stage. So,
thank you.
All right. So we've got something to look forward to here in the near future. More big things to come from Phil. So, Phil, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks.
Now I am with the third of the bunch. I'm really looking forward to talking to Kathy. Kathy, thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I wanted to talk about the character of Holly, a strong, independent young woman, young girl, really. Do you have females that come up to you and talk about like her being an idol? I mean, because she was in a kind of a all-male sort of family situation, right?
Right. Well, I think because I was the youngest of 10 in my family, kind of gave me, that kind of, gumption. And yes, I have had girls come up to me and say that I was a role model for them. And I kind of thought that was fun because usually think as an older woman being a role model, and here I was a role model and I was only 12. So that's a compliment and a half.
That's an amazing legacy for sure.
That documentary that I produced it and we're putting it together. The last footage was delivered today, as a matter of fact. Wow, okay. Wesley had some live footage that needed to get to the editor. But it's non-scripted, it's off the hook, and we are laughing and crying and yelling and pinching and punching, and it's terrific footage.
And I'm really excited to see it.
My book is coming out,
oh, okay.
And it's been I know I keep telling everybody it's coming out. Okay. It takes a long time sometime to get it all together, but it's coming out. Hopefully it will be out at the end of this year.
Okay. Could you give us a little hint at autobiography kind of thing?
Yes, yeah. It's I've had a pretty big life. I mean, this was a huge part of it, and of course I'll tell a lot of the backstories on it. But I married into the Bell family when I was 18 years old. They were the founders of Bel Air, and so that's like a whole nother. I became a farmer.
Really? Okay. Very cool. Farming what? What kind of?
Well, we produced 12,000 hogs a year, and we milked 50,000 gallons of milk a day. So, I mean, this was a huge state-of-the-art farm.
Well, Kathy, in a way, it's kind of a fitting legacy because the character of Holly was a strong, almost like a down-home farm girl, almost. I mean, and to go on and to be an entrepreneur and industrious. Kathy, in anticipation of the documentary coming out, we, of course, don't want to give anything away, but are there any little hints of things that you guys might have covered or talked about that the fans might be in store for or surprised or shocked by? Any revelations that maybe we can hint at a little bit? Your lips are sealed on that one. I'm seeing her look in her eyes. So okay.
All I can say is every emotion across the board is displayed in the documentary, and it's just what actually a real family would be like. There's the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, the disagrees, the agrees, all of that. Okay. It's a colorful documentary.
All right. Well, there you have it, straight from the cast of Land of the Lost. And thanks again for your time, and we will be anxiously awaiting the documentary. So we'll let you.
Book. It's called Lost Girl. Look for it.
There you go, Lost Girl. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, and we'll let you get back to your many fans here. So.
Alrighty. Thank you.